Hello everyone! Thank you for joining me and welcome to my channel. Here I share tips from my own self-teaching experience that will hopefully help you go further into your violin journey. Today I want to share the second step I took for developing vibrato, and this second step implements 4 vibrato training drills that you do with only the violin. For all of these exercises, I would like to remind you to put a time limit, no more than 15 minutes. And if you feel any discomfort or pain while doing these exercises or drills, make sure you consult your medical professional. So how do we know when it's the right time to start developing vibrato, you may ask? In my humble opinion, I think if you have a decent intonation where you hit the notes on pitch for about 80% of the time. Also, if you have been doing my pre-vibrato drills that I shared with you in the last video that I did, if you've been doing those for about 4 weeks or more, or if you've been doing those type of pre-vibrato drills from the beginning of your violin journey, then I think you're more than ready to get started in this step for developing vibrato. So go ahead and get your violin and let's get started. Drill number 1, fingerboard taps. Okay, so get in comfortable playing position and help support your violin with your right hand by sustaining your violin on its side like this. You can sustain it on its own, but it'll be easier and less stressful if you help it out with your right hand. You're going to place your left hand in third position where the wrist is touching the body, the top part of the violin. Don't pay attention to whether it's exactly third position or not, all right? So you got your hand in position. You're going to turn it in playing position. This is how you're supposed to play, not like this, like that, where your thumb is a little under the violin. You tap the fingerboard, the top part of the fingerboard, like so. You just do a backward, forward motion, like that. Picture a very relaxed door knock, like so. Like you're knocking forward, and this is you're knocking backward. So that's the motion you want to mimic when you're doing fingerboard taps. All right? So let's do this together. Let's tap the fingerboard 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tap again 4 times, but a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So once you get your top speed, just keep doing it. And that's the exercise. Very simple. Consider it a warm-up for the next exercises that you're about to do. So this was fingerboard taps. Tap, 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 tap. Drill number 2, finger independence day. The exercise here is to double check your finger independence. What I do is I put my first finger down and I tap it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. While your finger is down, wiggle your other fingers, including your thumb. Okay, that when you can do this, it's a good sign because that means your other fingers are relaxed, there's no tension, and you can wiggle them around. Now you're going to do the same with all 4 fingers. If you're doing this the first time, as you go down fingers, keep the initial fingers down so that it's easier. And then when you get used to it, when you press, let's just say when you press the middle finger down, lift the first finger and wiggle all of your fingers individually while you just have the middle finger down. Okay, but for now, since we're starting out, let's keep all the fingers down as you go down. So get your violin, get in first position, tap your first finger 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wiggle your fingers, including your thumb. Alright? Now tap your middle finger or your second finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wiggle your fingers, including your thumb. Now tap your third finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wiggle your pinky and your thumb. Oh. Wiggle your pinky and your thumb. Wiggle it, wiggle it, wiggle it, wiggle it. Tap your pinky down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wiggle your thumb around. Alright? Okay, so was that easy for you? If it was, then do the next part of this drill with me, the more advanced form of this exercise, okay, which is wiggling all your fingers while, no matter what finger is down. So let's tap the first finger down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your thumb and your fingers. Second finger, 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift your first finger and wiggle all of your fingers. Okay, put your first finger back down. Now tap your third finger down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift your second and first finger and wiggle all your fingers while your third finger is down. Alright, put all 3 fingers down again. Now your pinky. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sustain your pinky down and wiggle all your fingers. Wiggle all of your fingers. All your fingers are free. They're not imprisoned by the pinky. That's Finger Independence Day. So do this exercise do it until you're used to wiggling your fingers individually, and then once you are able to do that a little more easily, you will move on to the next drill in this video, which is string cleaning. Now, here is where the hard work begins. Once you start this exercise, focus on doing it for about 3 to 4 weeks before moving on to the next exercise. You will start with moving your hand back and forth from first position. Move it back and forth to the body of the violin. You want to make sure, this is just to check if this knuckle here and your thumb are not squeezing the violin, because if you squeeze, you can't slide. So make sure your knuckle and your thumb are nice and relaxed. Make sure you support your violin with your right hand, just for extra support so that there's no tension. And just make sure you always keep this shoulder relaxed and down, and that there's no tension while doing this drill. The next step is you apply your finger, your first finger, whichever finger you want to do, you apply it on the string and you glide that finger up and down the string. If you're doing arm vibrato, of course, the motion will start from your elbow and your wrist will stay in the same position. This is arm, sort of, and this is wrist. Alright, so I'm going to keep doing wrist, but for those of you that want to do arm, do the motion from your elbow up. Alright, so you glide your finger back and forth on the fingerboard, as so. Then you're going to speed it up. And then gradually speed it up to the fastest slide that you can do. Now as you speed up, you're going to cover less ground, and that's just fine. Now that I'm going as fast as I can, I will apply pressure on the string as if I'm holding a note, and go at the same speed back and forth in that vibrato motion, in the direction of the string. Okay? Not side to side. That's not the motion. In the direction of the string. So roll your finger as fast as you were sliding on the string. And that's how you end your exercise. And then you will repeat that motion with each finger. And it doesn't matter how fast or how slow you're able to go at this time. You will gradually get better at it. Okay, that's the whole point. Okay, here we go. First, make sure both your knuckle here and your thumb are not squeezing the neck of the violin. Alright, now apply your first finger and glide it up and down the fingerboard. at a slow and steady pace. Now let's go a little faster. Now let's go a little faster. A little faster. Is this the fastest you can go? All right. Apply your finger on B. Go as fast as you were going. Very good. Now second finger. Up and down the fingerboard at a steady pace. Go a little faster. A little faster. Is this the fastest you can go? So apply your finger on C and do the vibrato motion at the speed you were going. Very good. Now third finger, same thing. Up and down the fingerboard. Faster. A little faster. Is this the fastest you can go? If it is, then apply your finger on D. And then do the vibrato motion at the same speed you were going. Remember, relax everything. Do not put any tension. Very good. Now, pinky. Steady pace. Go a little faster. As fast as you can. Okay, once you go as fast as you can, put a little pressure on the string and do the vibrato motion. Very good. I think we should take a little break here. I was doing that drill on the A string. You can do it on any string you want, but the idea is the same. Okay, so let's just remember, don't do these drills more than 15 minutes at a time. Always take a break. And while you're taking a break, if you find this video helpful, I'd greatly appreciate it if you hit that like button. Thank you so much. The fourth and final exercise of this step 2 phase is third position fingertip rolls. Now, whether you're doing the wrist vibrato or arm vibrato, the motion of vibrato will end with the top knuckle flexibility, where the top knuckle will roll. Okay? So that's the key to this exercise, to get used to that rolling position or that rolling motion in the direction of the string with your violin. Your wrist touches the top part of the body of the violin, and you just apply your fingers down in playing position. It doesn't matter if you're accurately in third position. You don't have to know third position in order to learn vibrato. Okay? So once you're in third position, you will roll your finger back and forth. The same with all fingers. Alright? So, like that, like so. Okay? So that's basically the exercise. This exercise requires a metronome so that you can keep track as to where you're at every time you do this drill. What you're going to do is you're going to start your metronome at a slow pace. Let's just do about 70 beats per minute. Okay, that's pretty slow. Now, if that seems too fast for you, start slower. But for now, we're going to start at 70 beats per minute. Once you do 70 beats per minute very comfortably, you can increase your speed by 2 to 4 beats at a time. And at your fastest speed, make sure you keep that rhythm and that continuous motion. If it starts to get messy, that means you have to go at a slower motion. And here is where you start jotting down, or you start recording where you're at with your vibrato speed. This exercise will stay with you until you unlock your vibrato, okay? Grab your violin and let's get started. We're going to do 8 counts of each rhythm. Quarter beats first, then eighth beats. All right, so let's get started. Third position. First finger first. 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and second finger. 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and third finger. 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2, 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and fourth finger. 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and that's the exercise. Here's a suggestion. If you really need to slow it down, you can start at 70 beats and you can do it in 3 phases. You can start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so you can start really slow where each beat is one roll. If you need to. If not, just start in the quarter rhythm, which would be okay. So that's an option for those of you who are really not used to this and you need to start slower, or if you find keeping the rhythm a little more difficult, then let each beat be a motion. Let's do it one more time. We're still going to start in quarter beats. For those of you who find it hard, start the motion slower where you roll the finger per quarter beat, okay? So this time I'm not going to count along, and let's see if you can keep up. All right? 4, 3, 2, 1. Second finger. Third finger. Fourth finger. Alright, so was that pretty easy for you? If it was, then it's time for you to speed it up to 74 beats per minute. Okay, so that's how that exercise goes. You will see that with time, as the weeks go by and you're doing this every day, your hand will start developing that vibrato effortlessly. And yeah, just effortlessly. You have to keep with this exercise once you get to this stage. now is the time that I will share with you a bonus exercise if you want to get a head start into step 3 of vibrato development. Okay, you can do it at any stage, at 70 beats per minute, 74, 80, wherever you're at. You can start challenging yourself. And the challenge is you're going to be doing the fingertip rolls. And as you're doing your fingertip rolls, you're going to add your right bowing hand. And you're going to do a slow vibrato motion as you're doing your fingertip rolls. Okay, so let me demonstrate it. I'm just going to demonstrate it with my middle finger so that you understand how it works. Okay, so I want to do it a little faster. I'm going to do it at 80 beats per minute. Okay. All right, if you're comfortable enough to do this motion and add the air bowing to it, go ahead and do that, because it will train your brain to do the bowing independently of the motion of your right hand, okay? Which is very important when you want to do vibrato. You want to mindlessly be able to bow however you want to while applying vibrato to your pieces. So that's the bonus tip. I hope it's helpful. Just do 15 minutes of a really well-focused drill session. If you do that every day, that should be enough to getting closer to unlocking your vibrato. Once you get to drill number 4, do it for about 4 weeks. And after 4 weeks, you should be ready to take the next step, step number 3, to unlocking your vibrato. And that step I will provide within hopefully the next month, I'm hoping. It's not the final vibrato step. I believe to develop vibrato, it takes about 4 long steps. First you crawl, then you walk, then you jog, and then you run. Running is when you do the full vibrato. Okay, so check back for that 3rd video. Make sure you hit that like button here so that I know that that's what you're looking for when it comes to these violin videos. Honestly, I'm just trying to provide videos that I would have wanted when I started this violin journey, aside from documenting my own self-teaching violin progress. So any suggestions, comments would help. So you can leave those in the comment box below or hit that like button. And if you really want to help this channel grow even further, you can go ahead and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Oh, and a special thank you to my patron right here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so that's all I have for today. I hope to see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.